Welcome to the Consistency Corner podcast, where we simplify a marketing strategy for busy business owners. I'm your host, Ruthie, and in this special 5-part mini series, we're diving deep into the 9 grid strategy. This breakthrough approach that's liberating business owners from never ending social media grind. Are you ready to step away from social media, reclaim your time, take back your energy, amplify your brand, and let your content work for you? Well, let's dive in. This 5-part episode will have us talking about what is a 9 grid strategy? Why is it an effective social media strategy? Who is the 9 grid for? Should you hire a social media manager? Or maybe would a 9 grid be a better option for you? Myths and misconceptions about the 9 grid, and then whether or not you should do your own 9 grid or have an expert help you create one. We'll talk about these things over the next 5 episodes, and I'm really excited to dive into this with you. So first of all, let's talk about why is the 9 grid an effective social media strategy? But before we even dive into that, what is it? I was talking to my husband, and I have been doing the 9 grid strategy for several months now and offering this as a service for other business owners. And I'm talking to my husband about a client that signed on for a done for you 9 grid package. And he was like, okay, just one more time, can you explain to me, like I'm in first grade, what is a 9 grid and why is it an effective strategy? So here's the thing. A 9 grid is or an Instagram grid, which you may have heard it called, or Instagram puzzle, is a visual content strategy on your Instagram grid where you use 9, maybe 12, maybe 15 posts put together in a cohesive, intentional manner. Some of the graphics may carry over from post to post, so it looks like a visual puzzle that is put together in those 9 squares, and they very clearly go together to tell the story of who your business helps, the problem that it solves, what makes your brand sparkle, makes it special and different, how you help your customers, and how you can support them and how they can connect with you. So over those 9 posts, again, maybe 12, maybe 15, depending upon the design that you choose, you take them on a journey. And once you put those 9 posts up, you leave them and you don't post grid content anymore. You might post reels, but they don't hit your grid. You might still post stories, and you probably have some other marketing strategies, or you should have some other marketing strategies going on in the background. And honestly, once you have those 9 posts or 12 or 15, that grid posted, you are confident that when someone hits your Instagram profile, they find you on social media, they know exactly what your business does. They know who you help. They know how you can support them, how they can work with you. And there's nothing left for them to question in terms of what you do and what makes your business special. Now, here's the thing. I know that social media can lead to burnout. We spend as business owners our limited time trying to do all the things. We're juggling all the hats or all the things, we're wearing all the hats. And knowing that social media is an important part of your marketing strategy because people are on social media, it can become overwhelming figuring out, like, how do I feed the algorithm? What's trending? What should I be putting out there? Or maybe you're scrolling looking for inspiration or tips or hacks or strategies or ideas, and you're just feeling drained. The thing about those changing algorithms and audience engagement and new platforms popping up is it's like a never-ending hamster wheel. And whether you're on the hamster wheel and ready to get off, or you're overwhelmed and haven't even gotten started, people are on social media. And so we need to make sure that our business has an effective communication and content plan on social so that when people go to look you up, they know what you're about. The efficiency and the effectiveness of a 9 grid can help you streamline. It's almost like a mini website for your social media. Again, those 9 posts, we take the reader through who you are and what your business does, how you help, what makes you special, who you help, how someone can work with you. Nurture the reader by giving them some quick wins or some key tips or sharing some of your expertise and building authority. The 9 grid is a great way to nurture on social media without having to feel like you're constantly pumping out content. And when I say set it and forget it, typically we can leave up a 9 grid for 3 months. It could be less, it could be more, again, depending upon what's going on in your business and whether or not you've got any new offers or updates to your messaging. But once you put your grid up there, you know that when someone finds you on social media, they're seeing the most intentional and strategic content. So you no longer have to think about, what am I going to post? Ugh, I haven't posted. Ugh, social media doesn't work for me. And even if you feel like, you know what, I don't find clients on social media, maybe I don't need a 9 grid. I'm going to challenge you there. And we'll get into this in the episode where we talk about myths and misconceptions. Even if you don't find new clients on social media, or the clients or the potential clients do find you. Let's think about referrals. I'm sure as a successful business owner, you have current clients referring you all the time. And so those potential clients might be going to the internet to look you up because that's what we do as humans. And maybe they find your website and maybe they find you on social media. But when they're ready to make a buying decision or decide who they want to hire or who they want to work with, often they're going to binge your content, meaning they want to really dig in and get to know you. And social media and a 9 grid on social media is a great way to do that on autopilot. So you're not having to constantly think about it. But then again, the content is there to nurture your audience. The content that we create for a 9 grid can also be repurposed across different platforms. So depending upon how you design that grid, you could also use those posts on LinkedIn or Facebook. You could use the copy that you write in the captions as emails, or even starting out for blog posts or podcast episodes if you're doing either of those for long form content for your business. So it's a great place to start because it's pulling all of the important information together. Now, again, we're going to talk about over the next 5 episodes different strategies and ways to use the 9 grid, how to design one, who it's for, and things to consider on whether or not it's for you. But I want you to understand the freedom and mental space you gain from adopting those 9 grid strategies. My client, Amy, who is a creator, she's a baker and she creates beautiful custom designed cookies and cakes. She was struggling on the social media hamster wheel. And although she wasn't posting regularly, she was feeling really guilty about not posting. And that guilt was sucking her creative energy so that when she got into the kitchen to do what she does best, she wasn't at her best. Once we put up a 9 grid, it lifted that weight off of her shoulders and gave her her creative energy back. I'm sure you can relate to this. How often have you written on your to-do list, post on social media or create social media content, and it just gets moved to the next day or the next day or the next day? And you realize that you haven't posted in 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 weeks. And the content that you have up there isn't really the best. So you're leaving money on the table because the content that you have isn't actually doing anything for your business. What a 9 grid does is, again, it gives you those 9 intentional squares that can serve your audience when they find you on social media, just like a mini website with calls to action, calls to engage, and all sorts of different ways that you can nurture your audience when they're on your social media profile intentionally with those 9 posts. Listen, we're going to get into more details over the next 5 episodes, and I want to keep these short because I know you are a busy business owner, but stay tuned for our next episode. And remember that consistency is key to your marketing success, and the 9 grid is just one strategy that can help you get there. We'll see you in the next episode.